Hi everyone, welcome to the InkSoft training webinars. My name is Christian, and in this webinar we'll cover the blank product setup and blank product pricing. Whether you're setting up stores with pre-decorated products, putting together a proposal for a client, or letting users decorate products themselves in the designer, the setup for blank products is still the same. First, let's talk about where blank products in InkSoft come from. InkSoft works with many different suppliers, so we can provide product catalogs for you to browse from. This means that you don't have to create your products from scratch in order to offer them in your stores. You can browse the different supplier catalogs to find what you're looking for, and then you can copy those products into your own personal product library in InkSoft. I'm here in the admin portal for my account, and to start browsing those supplier catalogs, I'll navigate to the Products menu and choose Add New Product from Supplier Catalog. Here you can see a list of all the suppliers that are available. But before I choose one and begin browsing, let's see if my account came with some products already. To access my own product library, I'll go to Manage Products in the Products menu. Now that I'm here, I can filter different ways to view my products. I'll filter by supplier. Since I have some suppliers showing here in the next filter menu, this implies that I already have some products in my library. If I select all and click Apply, we can see what those products are. As you can see, my account already came with 39 products by default. Here, I can see some of the product info at a glance, like the product SKU, product name, and default color image. These are products that I may or may not need, so now let's discuss product library size and best practices. So, how many products should I have in my own product library? Well, your product library will consist of products that may be used for different purposes, such as blank products customers can decorate in a designer environment, blanks that I will decorate myself as an admin so I can then sell those pre-decorated products in stores, or I may use products to send mock-ups and estimated pricing in a proposal. I may also have products in my library that are inactive and are not currently being used anywhere in the system. Whatever the case, I'll want to make sure that I make careful decisions on the products I wish to include in my library, and that I begin to build a curated list of my top-selling products. I'll also want to implement a good, better, best approach for product choices, so I don't overwhelm my customers with too many options in a designer environment. Long story short, I'll want to start with a relatively small list of products, and then I can always add more over time, little by little, based on my needs. It's never recommended that you add hundreds or thousands of products to your library. Even though I can copy existing products from the InkSoft provided product catalogs, there is still some work to be done when preparing those products for decoration and configuring them for use in stores, and this can take some time. We'll talk about this in more detail a little later. So remember, the fewer products you start with, the easier and faster it will be to get through your initial product setup. Now, let's actually take a look at removing and adding blank products. I can start looking through these default 39 products to see if there are any I want to keep. But even if there are a few, I may decide to still remove those products, then re-add them from a different supplier catalog instead, since multiple suppliers sometimes carry the same products. Why would I want to do this? Well, the main reason would be based on who I usually order from, for example. But another would be due to the default product images. The Alpha Broder catalog, for example, mainly comes with product images featuring models, whereas the Sanmar and SNS catalogs tend to have product images with no models, just the front-facing garments. It's really just a preference, but if I don't feel like manually replacing the default images on some of my products, then I might just go with products from a different supplier that already provide me with the type of images I want. This is really just for use in my InkSoft account anyway, and in the end I can still order my blank goods from wherever I want. So, to make things easier and start with a clean slate, I'm going to remove these 39 default products altogether. I can then take my time and go grab only the products I need for my account. To delete a product from your library, check the box next to the product. And in this case, I'm going to click here to select all 39 products. Then, click the Select Action dropdown. These are all the bulk actions available for products, and I'm going to choose Permanently Delete. Then Apply. Also, the permanent labeling is a bit misleading. If you delete a product by mistake, you can always recover the deleted product. You can also copy the product again from the Supplier Catalog. So now that I've deleted the products, I can refresh the Manage Products page and go to Filter by Supplier again. You'll see that now there are no suppliers available for me to filter by, since I have no products. Now I can go and start grabbing some products from the supplier catalogs. To do this, I'll again click on Add New Product from Supplier Catalog. And I'll choose a supplier. Next, I'll filter by the manufacturer I'm looking for, Gildan, and click Apply. It looks like this supplier catalog in InkSoft carries 78 Gildan products. I can start looking through this list to find the products I need. If I know the SKU number for a particular product, I can also search for it on the right side. Once I find some of the products I want, I'll select those products. I can then click Apply next to the Copy Products to My Catalog option at the top of the list. The products have now been copied to my library. To verify this, I'll go back to Manage Products. Then I can filter again to pull them up. This time I'll filter by manufacturer. Since I've only copied Gildan products so far, this is the only manufacturer to choose from. I'll click Apply, and here are the products I just copied over from the supplier catalog. It's that simple. So make sure you take some time to add and remove products in your library and start building that curated list of product offerings. And remember to keep your product count low if you can. The next section we'll take a look at are product categories. Just like blank products, your account may already come with some product categories built in. These are the categories my account came with. The arrows indicate that there are subcategories, and I can click to expand and see those categories. These buttons up here will let you expand and collapse categories as well. All of these can be customized to fit your needs. You can rename existing categories by clicking on the Edit icon. You can create new categories and subcategories. You can organize categories alphabetically or manually reorder them. And you can of course delete categories. When editing a category, you'll notice there is an option to upload or change the category image, but as these don't appear in stores or the new designer, there's really no need to spend time on them. Instead, focus on removing any categories you don't need, and then make sure to add any new categories you'll be working with for your products. I'll delete a few of mine. Then I'll show you how to add a new top-level category and subcategories. Make sure that you save as you go when making changes. This will really be the best approach for anything you are doing in the platform to ensure that you don't lose any work. Next, I'll click Create New to add a new headwear category to my list. This will be a top level or parent category, so I won't be placing it under any other category here. I can just click Create Category. Now I have my headwear category, but I need some subcategories for it. I'll click Create New again, give my category a name, and this time I'll assign it to the parent category of headwear. My hats category is now a subcategory of headwear. You can create as many subcategories as you want, and subcategories can also have their own subcategories if needed. Okay, so I have the product categories I want, and now I am ready to start organizing my products into these categories. To do this, I'm going to head back to Manage Products. I'll filter to pull up all of my products again. Here in my product list view, I can begin to categorize my products in bulk. I can check the boxes next to the products that would belong in the same category. Then I can click on the Bulk Actions menu and choose to Assign to Category. In the next drop-down, I can choose the specific category my items belong to. Since I'll be choosing to assign my products to the specific subcategories they belong to, I won't have a need to also assign them to the parent category as well. The parent category is automatically shown in my stores when assigning products to subcategories. Once I'm done categorizing all my products, I can refresh my filtered results to see the categories for all of my products. It's now time to review the details for those products. This is so I can make any necessary edits to ensure that they're ready for decoration and configured based on my specific needs. In order to view more details for a product and begin making edits, click on the SKU number you see to the left of the product name. I'll click on the Gildan 2000 in my catalog. You can see that I'm now in the Edit Product page for this SKU. And every one of these tabs contains settings, options, and information that can be worked on and customized. We'll take a detailed look at the most important sections that relate to preparing the product for use. Let's start with the General tab. Here you can see that the item already comes pre-populated with a lot of information. Some information can be left alone, like the supplier, manufacturer, or product SKUs. But if you wish to modify the default product title, or customize and add more info to the description, for example, you can absolutely do that. The product also came with some default search tags as well, and you can edit these or add more if needed. Next, you'll see Available Sizes. Make sure the product has the available sizes you want to offer. If you need to turn a size off, simply uncheck the box next to it. If you need to add a size, click the plus button here. You can also rename your sizes or reorder them by clicking on these up and down arrows. Again, remember to save frequently after changes you make to ensure that you don't lose any work. It's also a good idea to refresh your browser page occasionally to make sure you can see your changes and the most up-to-date version of the page. To the right of sizes, you'll see the available sides. This is referring to the sides of your product that are available for decoration. You can see that this Gildan 2000 from Sanmar came with some sides turned on by default. Every product will have the front turned on, but for the rest of the sides, the on-off status may be different on every product. Since every business uses blank products differently, these can of course be customized to fit your needs. If I only want the front and back turned on for the product, I can uncheck the other sides to turn them off. I also have the option to rename the third and fourth sides if I'm using them. This way I can make sure they're labeled properly based on what product I'm working on. The thing to remember here is that sides that come turned off by default likely don't come with product images or print regions for those sides. Not every user will need all 4 sides for every product, but if you do need to enable a product side that was turned off by default, you'll need to make sure that you first have product images for that side in every active color. You'll also need at least one print region to be set up for that side before it can be decorated on. I'll go over this in more detail shortly. The next section to pay attention to will be the store and category assignment. Here you can choose if the product is active or not, and you can again categorize the product from here as well. For store assignment, you only need to assign this product to a store if you are planning to offer this to customers in a designer environment. Otherwise, the product can be left unassigned. You can see that by default, my product is active. It was automatically assigned to my built-in web store. And because I already took the time to categorize my products previously, this t-shirt is already assigned to the t-shirts men's/unisex category. There are other options and settings you can explore in the General tab, but for now, we'll move on to the Colors and Images tab. Every product will come with some colors information and product images for every active side of the product and in every active color. Just like the general information for the product, all of this can be customized to fit your needs as well. If you don't need to offer or use every single color for a blank product, you can make some of them inactive for now. You can also delete colors and add new ones as well. But remember that you'll need to re-upload images for deleted colors once you re-add them, and you'll of course need to provide images for new colors. Some of the information to pay attention to when reviewing the colors will be things like the color name, the color status, and the primary color swatch. You can make changes to any of this information if necessary. The next thing we'll take a look at are the default product images for the provided colors. Since this product came with the front, back, and right sleeve sides turned on by default, the supplier provided product images for every one of those sides on every color. The provided supplier images should be fine for most users, but if you want to replace some of those images or need to upload missing images for the product, you can easily do that here. Click on the product side you wish to upload an image for. Then click Upload. You'll then be able to browse your computer for that file to upload. Good quality product images can be downloaded from supplier websites, and we recommend an image size that's a minimum of 500 by 500 pixels, but no larger than 1000 by 1000 pixels in dimensions. The image resolution also doesn't need to exceed 72 dpi. Keep in mind that the number of images you can upload at once may depend on the file size of your images. So going back to the available sides in the General tab, if I want to enable the fourth side for a left sleeve, I can check the box for that side. But before I save my change, I'll need to visit the Colors and Images tab and upload a left sleeve product image for every active color I have. Once I have my product images uploaded and my fourth side checked, I can now save my changes successfully. You need to make sure these two changes are made at the same time in order to save your work. If you're making updates like this to some of your products and you're running into any trouble, please reach out to our support team so they can assist you. We want to make sure your products are configured the way you want and that they're working properly for your account. Next, we'll take a look at print regions. Print regions are what determine where someone can decorate on any given side of the product. And this is something that you will establish. If you're using the designer, your customers will not be able to change or edit print regions on the products themselves. They can only decorate inside the provided print regions. Let's take a look at the default print regions that came configured for my Gildan 2000. You can see the 3 different sides I have enabled for decoration here. And each side has at least one print region configured already. My front side came with 2 print regions, a full print region and a left chest. A print region consists of a name, width, and height. Since these regions came with my product by default, they already have this information filled in. I can start editing the name, width, and height of these regions. But before I do that, I can first click on Draw Region on any one of these to actually see the region size and placement on the product. Let's take a look at a couple of them now. I'll start with the full print region on the front. This looks pretty good. Most products will already come with great default print regions configured, but feel free to make any changes based on your decoration needs. You can see that I'm able to move the region around on the product image, and I can also resize it. One thing you'll notice, however, is that the width and the height for the region are staying pretty much the same, even though I have resized the box. This is because the configured width and height for the region are really only relevant for print-ready files that will be produced later in the system, and they also set the correct shape for your region. But when it comes to actually drawing the box and placing it on the product image, it's really up to you to size it properly so it appears to match the width and height entered based on the image you're drawing it on. You'll want to visually set this up so it's as close as it can be in reference to your configured size. This way the customer can decorate the garment appropriately and has the right expectation for the final printed product. When you're happy with that print region, make sure to save your changes. Now I'll take a look at the left chest print region. This one also looks good by default, and it looks like the size of the drawn box matches up pretty closely with the configured width and height in relation to the product image that's being used. Again, most of the products should already have at least one print region configured by default for every print side that's turned on, but we recommend reviewing these for every one of your products to make sure they are set up based on your needs. If you're happy with the default print regions, then you don't need to make any changes. In regards to how many print regions per side you should have, that's completely up to you. You may decide that certain sides need two options, like a full print region and a left chest print region on the front, while other sides, like a sleeve, may only need one. Whatever you choose, just remember that the customer will only be able to decorate on one print region per side. You can choose to make one of the regions on that side the default region that displays as the first choice, but then the customer has to decide which one to decorate on. Here's a tip for configuring print regions. You'll notice that you can't simply type in the width you want on a print region. This is because the width is determined by presets. Your account will come with some default width presets built in, but if you're not finding the width you need in this list, there is an option below the product image to create your very own custom print width presets. Click the plus button here to create and then save your preset. This custom print width will then show in the width presets list and will be available for all of your products going forward. To remove custom created print widths, choose the preset and click the trash can. To add or remove print regions, simply click the trash can to delete, and click the plus button on the right side of the print regions area to create a new one for any one of your sides. When you're creating a new print region, you'll be prompted to give your region a name, choose a width, enter a height, and then actually draw the region box and place it where you want on your product image below. Just remember that you need at least one print region for each active print side of your product. At the bottom of the Print Regions tab, you'll see an option for something called Designer Overlays and an option to upload a new overlay. This feature is designed for blank sublimation products. For more information on sublimation products, please visit our online help guides at help.inksoft.com or contact our support team. One final thing to remember about print regions before we move on has to do with the product images. You may have noticed that while you are required to have print regions for every product, there's no option to configure them for every color of your product. When you click Draw Region to draw your box and choose the placement on your product image, the reference images for this will always come from one of your colors, and it will always be the default color that has been set for the product. If you head back to the General tab, you'll see an option to choose which product color is the default color. Whatever color you choose, those will be the product images that are referenced when drawing your regions. Because you're only required to set up the print regions once based on the product images from the default color, this means that it's extremely important that you have consistent product images for every color and for every side. As long as the product images are all very close in size and the garment is in the same spot in every image for that side, then the print regions will always line up nicely and allow for accurate decoration on every color. Again, the provided product images should work just fine for most of your products, but take the time to look through those colors and images to review them and make any changes or edits if needed. Remember, the more time you take to fine-tune each one of your products and optimize them for the best decoration and use possible, the better the user experience will be for your customers and for yourself, since you'll need to use those same blank products for proposals and pre-decorated products. These are all details you have to pay attention to for every single one of your products, and it's another reason why it's important to keep a small, curated product library. Use these best practices whenever you add a new blank product to your list, and you'll always have great products to work with. Now let's take a brief look at some of the other tabs available here. Advanced will let you manage things like product inventory, an option for Google product feeds, and more. If you have the same blank product in multiple online designer stores, the Stores tab will allow you to offer different colors in each store for that product. The SEO tab will let you configure the product information used for search engine optimization. The product comes with some information by default, but you can update this if needed. Finally, we have the Pricing tab. This has to do with pricing for your blank products, and this is the next major section we'll take a deeper look at for the blank product setup. However, you'll only need to work on this if you're planning on using proposals or the designer. If you plan on building stores with pre-decorated products first and foremost, then your blank product setup is complete, and you can skip this part of the webinar. Use this time instead to finish adding products to your library and work on getting them categorized and configured for decoration. For those of you that will be using the InkSoft Designer or the Proposal section of the platform, let's talk about the different ways to set up your blank product pricing. First, I'm going to cover blank product pricing for an individual product. And when I'm done, I'll head back to my product list to cover blank product pricing in bulk. And again, keep in mind this would be product pricing before decoration. The first option is called fixed pricing. If I know the exact dollar amount I want to charge for a particular product, then I have the option to enter that as a base price first. I'll enter a flat $3 for this product. You can see that the final price column now shows $3 for my product in every size and color. Next, I'll enter price overrides in this column to charge more for plus sizes. For example, I'll need to charge $5 for the 2XL, $6 for the 3XL, and so on and so forth. As I enter in those new prices, you can see my final price change in the price column to the right. You'll need to have these price overrides entered in for every color, but there's a bulk option for this, so you don't need to do it one color at a time. At the top of the Pricing tab, you'll see a checkbox with no label. Check this box to see the selection options for your colors. I'll choose All to select all of my colors. Now that all of my colors are selected, there's a Bulk Apply option that appears. Here you can see the bulk options for pricing on the selected colors. The option that lets me enter price overrides in bulk is called Set Customer Price. I can use this to set my override pricing for my sizes in bulk. If I check the 2XL size, I can enter $5 here, then click Apply. You can see that now the 2XL size is priced at $5 for every one of my colors. I can continue doing this until all of my plus sizes are priced. Now my blank product has specific custom pricing before decoration, and I was able to set this up using the fixed price method. The other pricing method for blank products is to use supplier costs and pricing rules. You can use this option instead of fixed pricing if you'd like to do a markup on your supplier costs. You may have noticed that products originally come with some default pricing. This product had a default fixed price of $3.54, which I changed to $3. And you can see that it also comes with some default supplier costs as well. These prices don't always reflect your costs, of course. They are based on an each price for the fixed price and on published average case pricing for the supplier costs. These prices were configured when the InkSoft supplier catalogs were set up. You can use these default supplier costs if you like, but we recommend taking the time to enter your specific supplier costs in the supplier cost override column if they are different. Remember, you can use the bulk apply actions to enter your supplier cost overrides for all of your colors and sizes in bulk. For this example, I'll just use the default supplier costs. After supplier costs have been set up, it's time to take a look at pricing rules. Pricing rules are designed to let you apply markups to the supplier costs so you can price your products accordingly before decoration. To set up custom pricing rules, we'll head on over to Pricing, Product Pricing, and Pricing Rules. You can see that my account already came with some existing pricing rules. These are examples of rules that were created and named, but they haven't been configured. They're meant to show you that you can have multiple pricing rules, and these can be applied to different sets of products. In this case, they are based on different suppliers. They are all using a percentage markup on product cost for the pricing rule method. Since these examples haven't been configured, however, we can delete these and create our own. I'll delete these here on my account, and then we can create a new pricing rule together. I'll click here to create a new rule. For the name, I'll keep it simple and just name it after the method I'll be using. Percentage markup on product cost. For the methods, you can see that there are a few options to choose from. There are percentage markups on product cost or quantity, markups based on margins, and there are dollar markups as well. The most commonly used method will be the percentage markup on product cost. This method will apply a percentage markup on either the default supplier costs or the supplier cost overrides if you've entered them. If you'd like to give customers quantity discounts on the blank product prices, then you can choose the markup on product quantity method instead. This will let you apply percentage markups to supplier costs, but it would be based on specific quantities. The more the customer orders, the lower the markup. I'll use the standard percentage markup on product cost method for my rule. Now that I have my method selected, I need to start configuring the markups. I'll click the plus button here to add my first markup. The minimum and maximum refer to the price range for the supplier costs. For example, if I want to make sure that I add 100% markup on supplier costs between $0 and $3, I'll enter that for the minimum and maximum. I'll then enter 100 for the percentage. You can see an example of this formula to the right. I can then enter more breaks for higher supplier costs, and then lower markups for those costs. You can keep entering as many markups as you need for your rule. Or alternatively, you can just create one markup that covers everything. Just make sure that you've created something that covers all of your supplier costs across all of your products if you're looking to use this one pricing rule for everything. As we saw with the examples, you can choose to create multiple pricing rules to apply to different sets of products, but you can't apply multiple rules to a single product. I'll save the current changes I have for my one rule, and then I'll head back to my Gildan 2000. I'm back here in the Pricing tab for my product, and since I now want to use supplier costs and pricing rules instead of fixed pricing, I'll switch this option here to Pricing Rule. You can see that I now have to choose which pricing rule I want to apply to my product. I'll choose the rule I just created. Choosing the rule then gives me a new column in my pricing, showing the name of the rule and the percentage being applied based on the supplier cost. My new blank product price is now showing in the final price column on the right. This is the new price after the markup on the default supplier costs. If I had entered supplier cost overrides, then the markup would apply to those prices instead. And that's how you price an individual blank product using the pricing rule method. Now that you know about the different ways to price for blank products, let's take a look at pricing blank products in bulk. I'll head back to my list of blank products by going to Manage Products, then filtering to pull up everything I have. Whether you're using fixed pricing or pricing rule markups on supplier costs, you'll have the option of pricing products in bulk by way of the product grids. To use the product grids, first make sure to select multiple products at once. I'll select the 10 products I have here in my catalog, but you can select many more at a time if needed. After selecting the products, click on Select Grid at the top. You'll then see a list of all the different product grids you can work with. If you're working on fixed pricing, then you'll select the Product Fixed Price grid. If you're using pricing rules, then you'll choose the Product Cost grid, so you can enter supplier cost overrides first. I'll choose the Product Cost grid for my products, then I'll click Load Grid. When the page loads, you can see that it's showing me a list of all my selected products, with all the colors and sizes for each one displayed in a grid. While you do have an option of editing your prices right here on the page, most users will opt to instead download this grid as a CSV template. You can then work on it in Excel or any spreadsheet application and add your prices there. Then you can upload the template back into the system with all the new pricing. We even give you an option to clear the prices for each of your products beforehand, so it makes the template easier to work with when you download. Downloading and working on these grids for your products will make it much easier to update all of the pricing for your products in bulk. So, if you're using the fixed price method, then uploading that pricing template with all of your custom prices will be your last step for pricing your blank products in bulk. For the pricing rule method, there is one more step after uploading all of your supplier cost overrides in bulk. Click Save and go back to the list of all your products. Now we need to apply a pricing rule to all of the products in bulk. To do this, make sure your products are selected, and then click on the Select Action menu at the top of the list. Again, these are the bulk actions for the blank products. Scroll down to the Pricing category in the list and choose Apply Pricing Rule. You'll then see an option to select which rule you want to apply. I'll choose my percentage markup rule and click Apply. My pricing rule has now been applied, and my supplier costs have been marked up. If I refresh my filtered product list, I can see that all of my products now have that pricing rule applied. I've now finished pricing all of my blank products. After you begin work on your blank product pricing, feel free to review your prices as you go. You can choose to use the pricing rule method for some products and the fixed price method for others. All of this can be adjusted again if needed once you begin working on your print pricing. We'll cover print pricing in another training webinar. This concludes the Blank Product Setup webinar, and you should now have all the tools needed to start configuring blank products in your own library. As always, if you get stuck or need assistance while working on your products, please make sure to use all of your resources available to you. InkSoft has help guides on every topic of the platform, and these are available on the help.inksoft.com website. You can also reach out to the support team via phone, email, or chat, and they will be happy to assist you with anything you need. Thank you for watching and have a great day.